along Southeast Asia's coast, with mountains and jungles west. Vietnam is home to around 100 million people. History shaped by geography, sea trade, and a tough relationship with China north. Since prehistoric times, the Red River Delta was a population hub with fertile soil and a safe spot. Small, rice-growing communities grew here and formed the kingdom of Van Lang, linking to the Bronze Age Dong Sun culture. Along the south coast, the seafaring Sahawan culture connected with the central Philippine Islands. The Lac Viet people of Van Lang joined the U people of Nam, come to form O Lac in 257 BC. The ancient U people are ancestors of modern Thai-speaking groups in northern Vietnam, like the Nung. Short hair tattoos and teeth blackening were customs of the U. Lac united people, but only for its founding king's reign. Facing expansion south from China's Qin Shi Huang and successors, the U tribes united, forming the powerful kingdom of Nan Yu, rich from exporting ivory, pearls, and valuable woods. As China reunited under the Han, they demanded tribute. This wasn't enough for the Han Emperor. Nan Yu was invaded and became part of the Han Empire. Han rule tried but failed to force Viet people into Chinese culture, especially women who had more freedom and status than Chinese women then. In 40 AD, 2 Viet daughters leader rebelled after one husband was killed by the Han. The Trung sisters attacked a small local garrison and took other towns. The Chinese didn't take the rebellion seriously, responded. The young Trung sisters, in their 20s, took local control and were crowned queen and viceroy. Their rule was brief as a seasoned Han general arrived with a huge force. Sources differ. The Trung sisters were executed, died fighting, or killed themselves to avoid. Chinese records say their severed heads were sent to the Han capital as a prize. During Vietnam's second Chinese rule, rebellions continued during times of imperial weakness. To the south, the Kingdom of Kampa formed from Sahawan culture and other sea peoples. They were heavily influenced by the Indianized Funan Empire to their south, widely adopting Hinduism and Buddhism. In 544, after 2 centuries, the Vatsuan kingdom was founded by a local official of non-Yu descent, who named himself Southern Emperor. It took nearly 60 more years for a large enough force to be sent to reclaim Nam Viet. Over the next 300 years, there were 8 major rebellions. Eventually, the Tang dynasty granted Vietnam autonomous vassal status. As long as they paid tribute soon after the Tang collapsed, the Viet gained full independence from the Southern Han. Over the next 60 years, 12 warlords ruled a divided land, with 3 short-lived dynasties. Despite disunity, a major Song Chinese stability finally came with the Li dynasty, establishing equal law instead of autocratic rule. This dynasty's stable 216-year reign ended with a palace coup. The 6-year-old empress was replaced, and her 7-year-old husband from the Tran clan became emperor, a fairly smooth handover. The Tran dynasty is famous for repelling not 1 but 3 Mongol invasions, most notably in 1288 when a huge Mongol fleet was destroyed. War between Dai Viet, sister married the Cham king, who died soon after. According to Cham tradition, she was to be cremated with him, but Viet funeral guests rescued her, sparking full war and Viet conquest of Kampa. The occupation was short, and the Tran dynasty fractured, with some family members siding with the Cham. This led to another chaotic period with brief dynasties and a short Chinese Ming rule. This was followed by Vietnam's longest-lasting dynasty, the later Lai, which made Kampa a vassal. However, over time, Kampa, Ming Bok Mac North, Trin, and Nguyen lords acted independently, with their own capitals and armies, and the Lai dynasty emperor became only a symbolic leader. The Trin and Nguyen lords fought wars to unite the country. Firearms were quickly adopted by both sides, supplied by French, Dutch, and Portuguese traders. Lavish noble life and war burdens led to a mass peasant revolt by the Tai Sun brothers, who briefly ruled during a turbulent time with another Chinese invasion repelled, seeking to restore the Lai emperor. The Tai Sun's unstable rule was ended by the resurgent Nguyen, who unified the country and expanded territory with Siam and France, trading weapons for a monopoly. Eventually, the relationship soured as Vietnamese emperors tried to curb growing French influence. After jailing illegal Catholic missionaries, French Emperor Napoleon III invaded, using it as an excuse, taking land south and securing a favorable treaty. 2 decades later, the French conquered the rest of Vietnam and took land from the Siamese Empire. During World War II, Japan occupied French Indochina, installing a puppet regime like the French had done. The Japanese occupation was opposed.
Bị thề viết mình communist rebel, let be Ho Chi Minh.
After the war, he declared independence for Vietnam. The monarchy was abolished, and a 7-year war with France began. The Soviet Union and Communist China backed the Viet Minh, while the UK and US supported France. After the war, the Geneva Accords split French into Communist North Vietnam, South Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos.
Vietnamese
Catholics moved south, and Viet Minh moved north. The next year, a vote was held, overwhelmingly deciding against reunification with the North. Communists in the South claimed vote rigging and formed the Viet Cong backed by China. The North started helping. The Viet Cong fearing communist spread. The U.S. started backing the South, beginning the Second Indochina War or Vietnam War. This aid grew to air support. 200,000 U.S. military personnel were in South Vietnam. The war was long and